Hey everybody, we're back again. This is going to be a really short video. This is a demonstration video of a new service that we're offering, which is rotor housing chrome regrinding. It's a relatively rare service. Not too many people offer it. We've been doing it probably for about the last 15 years for our own personal use, and more as a finishing process when we do our cermet coated rotor housings. And we decided that since these days a lot of the rotor housings are getting very expensive, that we would offer to our customers the same grinding services that we perform on a lot of our own in-house stuff. So what I have beside me is a demonstration of 3 different stages where customer will, for example, send us a dirty, used rotor housing that has not had an apex seal failure, and the chrome is in relatively good enough condition to offer our grinding services. So this is the used housing, and again, without doing a pre-grind on this chrome, we won't know whether or not there's any defects that will prevent us from going further. But what you can see in the picture here is we've got chrome pretty much all the way across from left to right, all the way around. There's no chrome that's completely removed on this housing, but there is some chatter, there is some scratchiness here, and there's quite a bit of abrasion above the trailing plug hole, which is quite common. So the goal is to clean it up as good as possible. Not every housing is going to come out perfect, but it will provide a much better sealing surface than throwing it together like this. On our website, we are going to have sort of a chart and a reference guide for those who are interested in sending their housings in, to be able to refer to that guide, to view some pictures and read some text that talks about housings that are admissible to send us and housings that are not worth the customer's while to send in. Basically, we're going to take the housing and clean it like this so we can do accurate measurements to check it for shrinkage and warpage. The cleanup is probably the first stage where we can then call the customer and say, your 2 housings do qualify for the regrinding service. After it's cleaned and glass beaded and measured, that's when we go ahead and do the preliminary cut on the chrome to see whether or not it exposes any defects that, again, will stop the process and disallow us from going through to the final stage. This particular housing has had that preliminary grind process done. Now in this pre-cut, hopefully you'll be able to see what I can see. You can see that we've got contact on the chrome all the way around the housing, and it's making perfect contact on the left and the right side, but the center where this abrasion is above the trailing plug hole is quite common to see this, and that will not prevent us from going further on this housing. Same with the bottom. You can see the inside middle area doesn't quite contact, and then when you get to the non-spark plug side, you'll see that it's cleaning up quite a bit better. You'll also notice that the edges have been stepped down a little bit more from the wear of the ends of the apex seals. So this housing here after the pre-cut would be something that would be determined to be a housing we could take further and possibly complete. This housing is a sample of a final product, which cleaned up, measured well, inspected fine, the preliminary grind passed, and then we went on to the final grind and polish. And this housing, for the most part, looks like brand new. This housing looked probably very much like the housing we showed you in the sample. And as you can see, we're touching all the way across. We've got a very, very, very fine finish, much like the finish that Mazda offered on the factory chrome. And as you can see, the transition from here to here is night and day. A very affordable service for people who maybe aren't doing a build that requires the quality of a brand new housing, and a good cost saver. It's strongly recommended that if you have a pair of housings that you want to get done, give us a call and we can discuss some of the reasons why you want to do this, or why you think this process is good for you. And we'll have a conversation, and we'll possibly get you to email us some pictures so we can make a predetermination on whether or not your housings qualify for this service. So this is the final product. As you can see, this housing here is the same piece that we showed you in the engine room. It's finished in our standard silver paint finish. Looks more like a virgin aluminum finish. We have different colors available. A standard black, a standard red, standard blue. Now this fourth one is not included in our introductory offer. We will not be offering any powder coating in the price, but we do offer powder coat services for many different components, but we can also do many different colors of powder coat. This particular one is silver vein, which is a standard color that we use on a lot of our products. Coming back to what is included in the introductory price, any paint that's available to us off the shelf, you can choose your own color, but we have, again, these standard colors. This particular housing is finished in the silver paint and has been glass beaded and cleaned, measured and inspected. Of course, the most important, the inside chrome has been finished, and this piece is ready to ship back to the customer.